Your host, and Cook. Cell phone. Thanks again.
All right, it's great to have you guys here today. Wonderful to see all of your shining faces. We got an unbelievable show for you. So welcome to the TranSend Today talk show. This is our first live performance, so glad to have all of you here. All right, so I wanted to start off and tell you a little story. A friend of mine was out in a hot air balloon, and it was a beautiful day. She's traveling along in a hot air balloon, moving along just nicely with the breeze. It's just gorgeous out there. But as she goes and gets a little bit of distance along the way, she does come into a whole patch of fog. And doesn't know where she is, starts to lose some of her orientation, and decides to lower herself into the hot air balloon to see if she can get a view of the ground. And as she gets lower and lower, she does break out of the cloud bank, is able to see the ground, and down below her, she sees a man walking along a path there and yells down to him, "Hey, can you tell me where I am?" Startled, he stops and looks up at her and says, "You are exactly 11 meters above the ground." She looks at him and says, "You must be in IT." And he said, "Why, yes. How do you know?" "Because you've given me precise information that has done me absolutely no good at all." He looks up at her and says, "Oh, you must be in operations." And she said, "Why, yes. How did you know? You have no idea where you are, no idea where you're going. You're no worse off for having talked to me, but now it's my fault." I told that story, it didn't actually just happen. I actually told that story 2 years ago. So some of you may remember that. 2 years ago, we were sitting in little rooms over in hotels by Richmond, running through hundreds and hundreds of different requirements, trying to pull together all the different pieces that we needed to in order to make this whole program come together. At the time, we were pretty much independent teams that were trying to do their thing to make all these different components happen. And over the couple of years that we've definitely had some low points and some difficult points. And we certainly have had some successes and some high points. And I think as a result of that, that's helped to bring us all together. And we are way less of those independent teams, way less of those ops guys and IT guys and marketing guys and compliance guys. And much more of this broader team that's all come together here. And it's been, for me, this really remarkable journey to be part of all that and have it all come together. And to be sitting here about to do what we're going to do today, which is just amazing. Because I'll just tell you a quick actual true story. So this morning, talking with Anurag, he's explaining to his kids what it is that he's about to do today. And they're begging to not go to school and come here instead because this looks like it's way more fun than whatever they were going to go do in school. I mean, who gets to do this? Lots of people have asked, why are you trying to put together something like a talk show? And of course, the only appropriate answer to something like that is, why not? You have the opportunity to come to work and to do what we're doing here, instead of looking at a 300-word, multi-bulleted point PowerPoint slide, then why wouldn't you do this? So that's exactly what we're going to do. You'll see very few slides, lots of people to come talk to. We're really fortunate to have all of those different components come together today, and all of the people come together today to be with us. And so I'm really pleased that we have the opportunity to do all of that. So we're going to have lots of other important things going on. Alex D is our man on the street. He'll be with us today. We have Carl Werwap will be our guest today. Your accountable executives will be here today. We've got Jamie, Jim, and Dan are here with us today. We've got our program superstars. You may not even know who they are, but I'll help you to understand who they are. And in order to lead into all of that wonderfulness, let me give you the TranSend. savvy executive who is really breaking ground in the management of large programs. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Horwath.
So Carl, I understand, before we get into all this kind of formal question stuff, those socks. Everyone's seen these socks? Just to show these Albert Einstein faces with different hair.
They help me feel smarter.
They help you feel smarter?
What do you wear?
Boring brownish green socks. Yeah, and they just make me feel boring.
Yeah, so I'll get some extra words for you.
No one told me that.
We'll have a set sent over to you. I'll have my people talk to your people.
My people talk to your people, and we'll arrange something.
I guess I am actually your people, though.
Doesn't matter.
We'll work on that. So I understand you've been breaking some new ground in program status reporting and indications.
Yeah, so first of all, just to comment at what a fantastic place we are with the entire TranSend and Next Gen Televic program. We have arrived at such a really neat place, and especially given some of the history that you've talked about. But I would say that the number one question that's been asked of me these days is like, when is the program going green? Like, what's up with being yellow for how many months now? Like a long time? Like a long time? Anyone like kind of tired of that? And like, let's go green? And so, you know, the whole red, yellow, green thing just seems so conventional.
Passe.
Passe would be a good word for people who wear smart socks. Passe would be a great You did not even rehearse that down. More crazy. Yes, passe, I was just going to use that word. So, you know, for me personally, and I'm just an instinctual guy, as most folks know, for me, you know, when I'm really trying to figure out what's the status of the whole project, where are we, kind of checking the pulse, I look at one person around the table to really understand kind of what's going on, and that is Tom Anderson. Tom, where are you? Tom, please stand up. Does everyone know? You all know Tom and what he does? Yeah, so he's kind of at the heart of all of our development, and he is at the testing end, right? So when we get all this code and all this new functionality rolled out, this man knows whether it's good or maybe kind of not so good. And so I always just kind of look at Tom, and I know how things are. So I've created a new kind of measurement scheme here for program status. I call it the Tomometer. And it's, you know, for those of you who don't know Tom really well, he has a very high bar associated with expressing cheer and general brief moments, glimpses of it, and I'm sure it doesn't extend to his personal life, but work, he has a very high bar, and sometimes it's hard for him. So anyways, he's got a wide range of the Tomometer, and so just to give you kind of the bottom end of the Tomometer, right, the not so great side of the Tomometer, that's good. It's insanity, Tom. It's where Tom is just so insane that he's literally pulling his hair out. Now, sometimes he goes a little bit too far and he gets too much hair out. But Insanity Tom is pretty ugly. I don't think I've seen Insanity Tom for a long time.
Not for a while.
Not for a long time. I think the last time I saw Insanity Tom was, you know, remember when we were rebaselining the schedule, like over and over and over again? I think we captured this photo of the third request that we had to rebaseline the schedule, and he just lost it. He had to just go to Insanity Tom mode. So now I can imagine maybe on June 5th, when we are rolling out release 2 to our second branch on June 5th, that we will be in the James Brown I Feel Good stand with Tom. Tom, are you feeling it, Tom?
I'm getting there.
We're getting there. You're supposed to have more words of encouragement than that. I'm not going to get it, am I? Okay, that's June 5th. June 5th. That's right. We'll have to show up June 5th. And maybe we'll see a little James Brown on stage. Who's just like, who knows? Maybe Tom can do that. And then I can imagine at the end of this year, on December 16th,
Yeah.
The last day of rollout, where we are completely rolled out to all the branches, and we will see a different Tom Anderson appear. This is the prodigious joy, Tom Anderson. This is as happy. I'm not sure how we actually captured this. It's Photoshop. Okay, well deserved. But I mean, he's never been known to be this happy ever. I mean, yeah. So that's the new Tomometer kind of grading for programs.
We'll have copies sent to all our friends if we need to. That's what we can absolutely do that. Well, thanks, Carl. We appreciate you sharing with that, and look forward to the usage of the Tomometer over the next 9 months or so.
Absolutely.
The rest of the program.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Very good. So, Carl, if you wouldn't mind staying with us, we'd like to move on to our man on the street, Alex D, who will be is out there right now working on some interviews for us. So I'm going to flip it over to Alex. Come in, Alex.
Hey Ed, good to see you again. I know it's been a couple of months since I've been on the program. I've been off doing a couple things. I've been focusing on my hair modeling career. As you can tell, it really hasn't taken off, if you will. But it's good to see you all. Sorry I couldn't make the all hands, but I'm going to try to get some words from the street for you today. I'm going to get some input on what people are thinking about MGTB, get some people's answers to some easy questions, and maybe get a couple VIP interviews in as well for you. So I look forward to talking to you, and if you have any questions, just beam down to me, and I'll be happy to answer them along the way. For now, let's have some fun.
This line, who are these people that you keep talking about and calling accountable executives? Well, I'm here to tell you that I've got them here tonight, totally live and in concert. Ladies and gentlemen, look behind you, your MGTB accountable executives. Many of you are aware, spontaneously in the past, we've had these sessions where we do questions and answers, but because these guys are a little surly, they weren't really all that interested in starting off with answering any questions. So they are actually going to ask some questions of all of you. So we'll have some runners running around the room with microphones, and we're going to let our accountable executives, our men and women in black, if you didn't catch the reference from the music and movie, be able to ask you guys some questions. Let's talk about what's going on. Great. John, since you got the mic, anything you want to ask?
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to know how we get the drummer over West Creek 2 all day.
You got money, I got a drummer.
Okay, well, on to the question. Roxanne, our associate readiness is extremely important in an effort like this. What are we doing to get our associates ready?
Well, so we have a lot of training under development right now for all business lines, not just the branch, but also operations and commercial and some call center. We're getting ready to start our communication campaign next week. So some of the graphics you've seen will start to be out there in the world, which is great. And actually the new name of the system, we're going to start advertising that broadly next week. And so, we're well on our way to getting the word out about what's going on and when training will be available for them.
Cool. Thanks, Roxanne. So, Gail, anything you got on your mind?
Absolutely. Is Tom May out there? It's amazing. You're the only guy I can see through these glasses.
If you called me 5 minutes ago, I would be on.
Tom, I know that you're really excited about the central vision IP solution that Paul already highlighted for us, and Carl already highlighted some of the benefits from adjustments perspective. What are some of the other wins, early wins that have come out as a result of that? And you know me, I really want to hear about fraud. Any benefits from a fraud perspective?
A little bit. If you go back like 6 months ago, we had nothing going through central vision IP, it did not exist. Now we have about 45% of the volume going through that system. And what that system does is, among other things, is perform 90-day loop detection cross-channel. And we've already kind of seen a reduction in incidents with image ATM, and also the data volume. We're catching a lot of duplicates on an everyday basis on our engineering files. And in addition to that, we set up like 3 deposit review queues for the ATM volumes. And on the first day that we launched it, our Dallas associate got 2 counterfeit cases, which otherwise we would not have got. So we're catching fraud, we're detecting duplicates. Very, very exciting.
That is exciting.
So Tommy, can you show us where you are? There's an important transition that's going on here. So I'm going to ask some help from our men and women in black. So if you guys would please take out your neuralizers. And if all of you would just look deeply into the There's no more proof. There will be no more bid. Touchpoint is going away. Bankstar is going away. There will only be TranSend and branch image capture. Hit it. Excellent. All right, thank you.
Check that out.
I threw a check on the desk after the knocking dead. I looked at you and scanned that face. My way, I trade my local shit. Incidents all on my list. I wasn't looking for this. I never see my face. You're close, we can see the long night. Where do you think you are going? Hey, I just don't get. Hey, I just don't get. This is crazy. Let's get by his shit. Don't fix it, baby. It's hard to survive. And to say, here's my number. Don't fix it, baby. Hey, I just don't get. It's crazy. But here's my number. Don't fix it, baby. It's hard to survive. And for AM, here's my mission. Don't fix it, baby. Up on the wall, I look to your saddle and now it's late. I beg and borrow and steal, had it left free and it's real, but it's meant to be a hundred. Okay, KMHPS, all night window. Where do you think you are going? Hey, I call you. It's crazy, but here's my mission. Take me, baby, it's a good ride. And for AM, here's my mission. Take me, baby, hey, I am. It's crazy, but here's my mission. Take me, baby, all over here. And for that, and take me right. Call me, baby, before you take my life. Oh, out, let's go back.
All right, so I'm going to get on over to our man on the street, Alex D. So come in, Alex.
Hey Ed, thank you for taking some time today. We've been trying to track down John Witter everywhere. We've looked high and low within the McLean office. Started in the garage, he definitely was not in the garage. Stopped in the lunchroom, did not find him at lunch. I think he's actually in a strategy session as we speak. So let's take a second, see if they're talking about NGTB, and figure out what he has to say. Come on.
What a mess. What a mess. I can't believe that they have done this to me. Every one of these things, risky, risky, risky. They do not pay me enough to handle this kind of stress. Oh my gosh, Western Kentucky, I don't know. A 1's never beat a 16 before, but maybe it could happen this time. I'm gonna go for it, okay.
Hey, John.
Alex.
Sorry to interrupt you. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
what's
How are
going
you?
on?
Sorry to interrupt you. You have a couple minutes?
I'm in the middle of something pretty busy here, but sure, go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, please sit down. What can I do for you?
Well, listen, just very quickly, we're here at the NGTV program.
Yep.
Want to take some time to say thank you for your help last time in the
Sure,
audience.
love what y'all are doing.
Had
Love
some
what y'all are doing.
huge fans in the audience.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I've not
TranSend.
seen. Yeah, we actually have some John Witter tattoos appearing on the team now.
Is that right?
It
I've got
is.
two myself.
Do you really?
I sure do.
Fantastic.
I sure do.
Well, wonderful.
Yeah. You want to see them? Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, this is your. This is beautiful here.
Well, thank
This
you.
is
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It's
something doesn't seem right.
really,
It doesn't.
it's my office. I'm here every day.
It just doesn't seem right to me. Something.
You need some water or something?
No, I think I'm okay.
Maybe a little ginger ale?
No, you know what it is?
What's
I think it's the red jacket. You don't look.
Billy?
Billy
Baloo, my red jacket?
The red jacket was it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
Well,
can.
stop teasing me with that.
All right, let me see if I
Carl
can
took it
find
away.
it. We did bring it. Let me get it.
What? You brought it?
I think we did bring it.
Oh, Billy.
Look
Billy,
at
Billy,
this.
Billy. Oh,
I know you missed it.
Oh, you came home to Daddy.
Look at that.
Oh, you came home. Oh, I missed you.
That's much better.
Oh, it's like a pair of old worn-in shoes. I just love
That-
it. Oh,
wow. It completes you. It does complete you.
It does. It speaks to me.
It does. It speaks loudly.
We relate on an almost cosmic level.
Wow.
The jacket and I.
That's
Yeah, we do.
wonderful.
We do.
Well, good.
Some people don't know that.
I can't.
You've helped me. How can I help you?
Wonderful. Well, listen, we're excited to have some time with you today.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt your I know you were going through a lot of decisions here.
It's
and
detailed risk
detailed.
analysis.
It's good.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a big payout here for the company and for me personally if we can get this right.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. So I hope that goes into the annual performance as well.
It sure will.
Good.
It sure will. Fee, or fee income.
Good.
Yeah, fee income.
Good. So very quickly,
Sure.
Wanted to get some input from you. How have things been going? Your fans have been wondering how life has been. You're a celebrity. The last all hands. How's life been going? How's the helicopter pad? Have you gotten?
Gosh, it has changed my life.
Has it?
The success of TranSend. I was personally not expecting the paparazzi and the groupies.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward at home,
I'm sure.
as you can imagine.
Sure.
But no, it's been life defining. But for me, the most important thing is that we touch people's souls, and I hear every day from the fans. I'm tremendously delighted about all that.
Wonderful. Yeah, there
Sure.
are people that have named their child after you since I've been excited.
Well, we've got 3 or 4 of those.
Wonderful.
Actually.
Very
In fact,
good.
well, I've renamed all 3 of my children since the show. So
Even better.
that's 3 of the 4 anyway.
Even better.
Yeah, exactly,
Very good.
exactly.
Very good. Well, a couple of other things. So you're in a lot of meetings all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
You get to spend a lot of time with individuals. What are you hearing about TranSend? What are you hearing about this TranSend program?
The overall program is great.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone I talk to is super excited. The clear receipts, not needing the deposit slip, easier to transfer money, easier to sort of balance and figure out any discrepancies. The easy money movement. As I talk to folks on the front line, as I talk to folks here in the home office, everyone is super excited, and the only question is, when can we get it out there, and when can everyone have sort of a little piece of it?
Great. Now I know the team is hardly working. I mean, hard at work.
Hard at work.
Hard at work
Yes,
and hardly working.
That's right.
I know where the team is really dedicated.
I'm more in the hardly working camp. So yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in light of that, though, do you have any thoughts for the team? Anything to get us past the finish line? I know where the team is, really all focused on getting us to the rollout to get to change souls, not just here with you and your organization, but across Capital One.
Listen, there's always a moment in any game, and and if I quote my old ball coach, Scott Schnitzel. What Scott always said is there's a moment in the fourth quarter. There's 2 minutes left. You're exhausted. You're tired. You're down by 2 points, but you're driving.
Yeah.
And it's in that moment that you sort of learn what you're all about. And I think during this time we're in the final home stretch here. We're almost through the last release. We're almost to the early stages of rollout. And I would just ask the team, dig in, stay dedicated, stay focused, stay committed. I know we're going to punch it across the goal line. I know this is going to be a great win for all of Capital One, and I just can't wait to celebrate later in the locker room.
That's great. Well, I know the team will really appreciate that. One other question we had before you go, I know you're busy.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about Rich and Rich's
Sure,
opinions about this
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And
He's bigger
how
than life
things
in
are
this
going.
company, isn't
I'm
he?
sure he is,
Sure.
yes, he is. And in the region as well. It's fantastic
Exactly,
to see.
exactly.
But the big question I had was...
You know, I have to tell you, Rich is a little perturbed at you and at Carl.
Really?
Well, he's heard about the success of TranSend. And his view is, why wasn't he asked to host it? And why didn't he get to wear the jacket? He was mad at me at first. I, of course, told him it was your fault.
Absolutely,
And he started muttering something about CEO prerogative, and he's the founder of the company.
Right.
So you may want to stay a little bit away from Rich in the near term.
When we go, the next interview, we will not be stopping by Rich's office.
I would go out the back door. There's a freight elevator.
Right. The last time I was here, actually, I left the room, but I was in handcuffs, but it was very different.
Well, hopefully that won't happen again.
Good,
Yep.
good. But really, is there anything that you've heard about Rich? I know the team's very interested about how Rich feels about the program and how Rich is going to be talking about the program as he gets on his roadshows and things like that.
Look, Rich is as dedicated as anyone to making sure that our front line has great technology and great platforms.
John,
He's
you
been
have
a
an
huge...
urgent call on line 1.
Line 1?
Line 1.
Excuse me for 1 second. Hold on a second. Hi, John Witter. Really? 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 You bet. I will be right there. Yes. I'm coming right now. Yep, you bet. Alice, I am sorry. I am sorry.
Thank you for your time, though.
They are apparently filming a sequel to Argo.
Oh, really?
They're going to call it TranSend. They've called and asked me to audition. And get this, 2 starring women, 2 starring roles, Angelina Jolie and Sheila Bair from the FDIC. I get to star across both of them.
I won't tell Rich.
I've got to get out of here.
Though.
We'll talk more about Rich next time.
Thanks for your time.
Great to see you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you. Got to run.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, Ed. We didn't get all the answers we were looking for, but we got some great time with John Witter. A phenomenal kudos to the team. And stay tuned. We'll come right back at you with the next segment.
Next segment of the show. Either their administrative assistants were not persistent enough, or they were just foolish enough not to be on vacation right now. But Amy, Jim, and Dan have agreed to come and speak with us, so let's welcome them up onto the stage. Thank you. All right, here, let me grab this other mic so we're not having to pass quite as much.
One question, since we know Alex was live, right? I guess John's filling out his bracket kind of late, right? I hope he has Florida Gulf Coast.
I hear he likes to win, and so that's one of the ways to get there.
Ed.
Oh, Alex, hey, thanks. Would you put it up there? We'll just keep it because John was looking a bit too attached to that. I want to make sure so we're able to get that back, so we appreciate it. Thank you, Alex.
John's absent.
Perfect. Well, keep it right there. I'm sure John's busy working on the bracket probably. All right. I had a number of questions that I wanted to ask the 3 of you, but I understand that one of you actually has a particularly special power. In fact, a bit of a predictive power. So, Dan, just the easy oracle. It's just this is going to be one thing, all right? No one's looking for your job or anything. Lighten up. All right, so I have in my pocket and has been hermetically sealed, viewed only by some top performers in the field, my children. Made sure that this was placed in a safe deposit box and then inside a lockbox and then inside a vault, just in the McLean branch over here, and it's been kept there the entire time. So I have not had an opportunity to view the contents. And I'm going to ask here, this is not planned, so I apologize for the stress that this is probably will call, but I'm going to ask Dan to use his magic powers to reach inside and see if he can discern for us what is inside that envelope.
We had this this is unscripted, and normally, many of you, or some of you, maybe older, remember Johnny Carson and Karnak. Normally, when I've done this before to get the powers, I've had on, similar to the Oracle, a cape. And,
do you mind? Oracle?
Well, no, that's fine.
Actually, now you should worry about your job.
that may help. So,
Who's to say? We should try it out. It has a hood, just in case you wanted to use it.
So you're catching me off guard here. So in the envelope is a question I haven't seen, and without reading the question, you want me to give the answer.
Right. You're executive. I would think that's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Who's Johnny Carson?
That's why when I started saying many of you guys, I mean, Jay Leno's almost up there. Okay, let me think here. Please quiet. This takes no time. Start to come. Okay, here we go. I have it. The answer is Robert Mondavi, an FTD florist, and Carl Werwath.
Robert Mondavi, an FTD florist, and Carl Werwath.
That's correct.
What could that be?
Let's see. Question. Name a grape picker, a rose picker, and a nitpicker.
Once you have a question, so All right, excellent. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you demonstrating your powers, so easily. So, maybe you guys, let's get in straight to the really important questions. So, Jim, next gen color bit, great program or greatest program?
It's an interesting question, isn't it? And by the way, thank you for having the threws up here. We've really lowered the handsomeness quotient significantly.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, look pretty good. So great or greatest? I think great right now. Greatest around December 31st. Do we think something like
Why
that?
don't I put you down for greatest then? So why? Why are you waiting for that?
I think where we are right now is so different than where we were even a year ago. And looking around the room here, the atmosphere, I think some of it has to do with the fact that we have a fantastic host this afternoon. But it can't all be to do with that. I think some of it at least is to do with the fact that the program itself is in such a great spot right now. And that's not an accident. It's a result of all the hard work of people in this room, certainly, and lots of people who aren't in this room. So I think that, we feel fantastic about it. We're in a great spot. There's a lot of work still to do, obviously. But I think we'll look back at the end of this year and think, my goodness, what a hard road, what a difficult road. We had to work way harder than normal to the lyrics on the screen. And we were all there. You know what? It was worth it. And now California can move forwards with the best tele platform in the industry, which is something we should all be enormously proud of.
Great.
And if I could just add something to that, really not answering the great or greatest program, but I'd suggest potentially greatest comeback. This is, for hockey fans, this is Sidney Crosby-like. This is Peyton Manning last year for you football fans. If you think about it, as Jim said, where the program was not that long ago. And I was kidding with Carl earlier today. It was a joke, but I think it's close. And really, just the excitement and the tremendous morale here is just unbelievable compared to where it was 6 or 9 months ago. If you asked somebody back then, who was working on Next Gen Teller, it was none of that. They are not. Just the vibe and everything accomplished in this room to get us to this point is just incredible. So I certainly suggest greatest comeback story. To Jim's point, still a long way to go, but thanks to everybody around that.
Great. So yeah, I'll put you down for greatest also. Jamie, great or greatest program ever?
So I'm going to stick with the sports analogy, and I do think we'll be retiring the jersey soon, or retiring the number. I am going to put this in greatest. I think if we stop for a minute and think about what this program represents, it represents so much that makes this place, Capital One, special. Think about the cross-division nature of this, that we have partnership from IT, we have partnership from every division, every business division, being the retail bank, card, commercial bank, FS. We're cutting across every different layer. So when we think about the frontline customer facing, and we think about the teller systems, and we think about what we have to do to prepare vaults for this, and we think about what we have to do to prepare other channels that eventually will use the same infrastructure, like mobile deposit capture and like the ATMs. Then we go a layer in across all of these divisions, and we think about a landing zone, a ubiquitous landing zone that can take any image, any deposit from any channel, can take transactions across businesses, being the retail bank and eventually 360. The back end, and when we talk about back end, we're talking about connections internally, balancing hundreds of suspense accounts, talking with correspondent banks that we're trading checks with every day. Think about the complexity of that. And I want you to think of that other program that we've done recently. We'll only talk about jerseys in the last 10 years. Think about the last program that we've done that's literally cut across almost every aspect of this organization, that has cut from where we meet the customer all the way through to where we end the process, has involved tens of thousands of associates, has involved every aspect of how our business works, from the electrons to the people working with the customers. And I think you're going to come up with a very small list, so to me, great. But before I lose the mic, it's not just handsomeness, Jim. I can't believe how much talent we have in this room. Congratulations to you guys. I mean, you guys are amazing, so sorry.
Move over to our man on the street, Alex D, and hear what Alex has to tell us. Alex?
Good afternoon, Ed. We've looked around and finally found Marcelo. I actually came to Marcelo with a quick message from the program and an apology. I know we don't like to start our meetings with an apology, but a very quick apology to Marcelo. In our all-hands meeting, we announced that Connie was the longest member on our program. And apparently, after doing some research, we did some Google research, we did Ask Jeeves, and it's come to our attention that, Marcelo, you are actually the longest member on our team.
That's right. That's right.
So, first of all, how's that impact? You were sitting next to Connie, or with Connie when the announcement was made. Tell me about that, please.
Well, I was happy for Connie, but personally, I was devastated. I mean, it really affected me. I was very disappointed. I was heartbroken, some might even say.
I'm sure, yeah.
I had trouble breathing for days. I started feeling chest pains.
Oh.
I really didn't feel very good at all.
Wow. Well, listen, I'm glad that everything worked out. I'm glad we're here today to make, hopefully, to right a wrong, because we can't change everything on NGTV. We can make some things right. So on behalf of Ed Cook and the program, I'd like to present you a transformer, a little belated. It is intermediate. It's ages 5 and up. But it's a transformer for all of your hard work and your longevity on the program. So,
Great.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all your time. So let's talk a little bit about your history here. Now, you started on NGTB.
Yeah.
Tell me about the first meeting. When did you get involved in the program?
So the first meeting I remember having about Next Gen Teller was actually in Paul Vincent's office, and it was just the two of us brainstorming and writing things up on the whiteboard. Since then, I fired my admin for having taken that meeting, and I guarantee she's never going to work in this town again.
Probably very smart. Yeah.
But you know, at the time I was working on branch technology. It was obvious to us, given the problems we had with Touchpoint, and the problems, not the right word, I guess I should say. You know, the limitations on some of the customization in Touchpoint and where we could go with it in the future, that really wasn't the platform we needed to move with going forward. So Paul and I talked about the potential for implementing a new teller system across the branch platform, branch network, and seeing what we could do in terms of that. And you know, before we knew it, you know, it's turned into this big program. Remember, I was a lot younger back then. This is about what I looked like when I started working on the program. Wow. So it's been quite a while that I've been working on this. In fact, it's been about almost 4 years now that we've been working on Next Gen Teller.
Goodness. So that's what people can expect. If they work with Ed Cook for 4 years, that's exactly what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. That's right.
I had a full head of hair when I started working with Next Gen, and that hasn't worked out well for me either. So. Well, listen, on behalf of the program, thank you for your time. I'd like to do one thing on behalf of the program. I want to send you and your family down to the beach. I think y'all should go to the beach, spend some time down there. Why don't you send us a picture when you get down there from the beach, and we'll be happy to show that to all hands.
That sounds great.
Very good. Thanks for your time.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
What I do want to do next, though, is talk to you guys about some folks that have been like true superstars across all of the work that we've done with the program. And there's no way that I could actually get everybody up here to do it. And just so you all know, nobody that I'm about to come ask up here has any idea that they're about to come up onto the stage. So that should be pretty fun. So I know that you've heard their names individually, and you may be familiar with them, but you are certainly familiar with their acronym. So can I get SN2P up here, please? SN2 and P. Oh, there we go. You can see across the bright light. So please have a seat.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm totally not kidding. Great to have you on the program. So let me get this. Let me get this. There's no glasses. You just have to suck it up and deal with the lights. All right, guys. So where did this whole SN2P thing come from in the first place? Thank you. That's so good. So why not use your names, Paul? Any insight as to that?
Actually, I do remember where this started. It was back in February of 2011. We were sitting in a meeting, and Connie Page was assigning tasks to us, and said, okay, well, Susan, Nazi, Paul, Patty, we'll assign this to you. And then after about the 5th time, she got tired of writing Susan, Nazi, Paul, Patty. So, well, how about just SN2P? And that's how it got started. Actually, at that time, it was just SN2P. And then when Patty joined the team, we added the second P.
Gotcha. So like Crosby, Stills, Nash, and then Crosby, Stills, Nash, and of course. Yeah, I think we're all familiar with that sort of dynamic. Yeah, 68, 69, something like that. Yeah. So can you pass Patty a mic? Can you tell us about the silent M and why is it silent?
Well, I think Marcelo thought we were getting a little bit too much press, and he's like, I've worked for you, so there needs to be an M in it, but he knew that SN2P, was a household word. So we added the M on it, said it was silent.
But it's silent.
So it's still pronounced SN2P, just spelled better.
Just
and if you've ever been on any calls with him that he's on, you never know that he's on. By the way, I was on that call. Players
that don't necessarily get important important top building like that. And so I want to make sure that we're able to see everyone, although they are perhaps voices on a phone call working away. So I'm going to ask Josh Torkelson to come on out here. Josh? Josh, welcome to the program. So you can grab a mic, state your name, and tell people why the heck you're here. What do you do all day?
My name is Josh Torkelson, and I work on a lot of the EDS interfaces and getting data to the downstream systems. I also work on the EJ search tool that we just went to production with recently.
So Josh, although I work allegedly in IT, Josh, I don't know what any of that means. So can you explain what an EDS is and why do I care about it?
Right, so EDS came together and they're now DE and BDW and ADS. That probably explains it. And they work to make sure that downstream systems have all the information that they need. They also store data that a lot of data analysts use, and they're also our backend system for this EJ search tool.
And what does the EJ search tool do for us?
So the EJ search tool provides some capabilities that we don't have with Argo. It allows you to search electronic journal. We have item level search capabilities. We're able to search transactions for a longer period than we are with the Argo search tool. And we also have more flexibility and versatility with it. If we need to add something in the future, for example, I know users are asking for serial number searches for savings bonds. That's something that we can look into doing and adding that functionality for them.
That's great. And so who's going to use this search tool, Josh?
Everyone.
Excellent. That's good. All right, so some other people I want to bring on. You also, many of you, listened to their voices all throughout the work that we did for the first release. So can I have Amir and Anurag and Kristen? Can you guys come on the stage, please? Just sit down and like it.
It's right up here.
So, Kristen, you did a lot of work to pull together the whole command center. What the heck is this command center thing, and why do I want one?
Well, it's the best thing that's ever happened at Capital One.
Excellent.
A lot of people were involved. The command center is what we implemented for, obviously, for release 2. We had shifts, 24-hour coverage the first couple days, then scaled back because everything was going so well. So it's how we were monitoring everything that was taking place.
And of all the crazy antics that go on during a command center, what would be your favorite moment during the release 1 command center time?
There's so many. We're like a family now because we've all fought so many times. But I think really truly watching everybody come together when we had to do that rollback, everybody jumped in and showed up at work at 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and was ready to go, and we implemented successfully right after that. It was a proud moment.
That was a great moment. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
So, Jay, who are you, what do you do, and why are you sitting here?
Holding the applause mark there.
Yeah. So before you were an applause sign holder, what other?
For a year and a half, I was working with Steve Stinton for 6 months on NCR consolidation server, and a year almost with Paul Stein with NGTV.
Doing
Vision
what?
IP.
What have you done for NG? What have you done for me?
Stood up all the platform servers, backend for Vision IP, Dev, QA, Perf, DR now, and Prod, and did the tech pilot, release 1, and working on release 2, getting everything done.
So can you tell us about the wasteland that was Vision IP before you came along to make it all better? So what was it like? What did you change that got us to where we are?
So the number one thing I would say is the amount of technical support that we did before has been reduced, and a lot of work that we did show up, and they don't have much issues that they see a lot in the previous systems. They don't see it anymore, and a lot of like duplicate detection, Carla, IQA, and all the stuff.
The next thing I want to throw out there, last thing really that I want to throw out there, is a challenge to all of you guys. So getting a chance to meet other people and seeing who they are and really meeting them in person. We do tons of stuff on the phone and via video conference and Lord knows through email. So this is your chance to get in and meet some people. So here's your challenge. Find 7 other people that you know of, have heard of, have talked to, but have never met, and go meet them. You got a whole afternoon of interactive activities going on. You got a cocktail party tonight. You got meetings tomorrow morning. Go find 7 people that you don't know and introduce yourself. Make those connections so that we stay a unified group as we go through all of this and make sure that it stays that way. Because we've come a long way. It's pretty good. Let's keep it that way. And making those connections is going to be the important way to get there. So the last thing is just to recognize that it has been a really long journey for all of us. It's been hard moving all the way through. You've heard multiple comments about that all during today. We've made improvements. We've pushed through a whole bunch of different issues. We're coming into the last build and test phase of this thing. No kidding, it's actually happening. Weeks ahead of us before we finish up and we actually take all this work that we've done, land it in production all the way through, and then start the rollout. So very exciting times for all of us, an opportunity for us to get past all the stuff that we've had so far, and for us to show that we're able to be resilient, really, that we're able to survive through all of that. So I just want to leave you with one more thought, and I'm going to come over here with the band to tell you about that. Wait.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, and thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should've changed that stupid lock, should've immediately the key. I know just 1 second you'd be back to find me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door, just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me? Goodbye, do you think I'd crumble? Do you think I'd lay down?